Alright, so let's try this again. Let's try to make this video. I've been trying to make videos the last couple days. They keep getting interrupted. Just so much stuff happens out here on the road. So the last video I uploaded was when I left the house. So what happened after that? I delivered to Lowe's in Mount Vernon, Texas, and I had to sit around waiting on a load as expected. You know, all these brokers and support personnel, dispatchers work 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. So I knew better than to deliver that load early. I should have delivered it as close to 8 a.m. as I could. But it really screwed up my hours of service. So Monday and Tuesday, I did a lot of 8-2 splits and variations thereof to be able to make all of my pickup and delivery appointments. So what was really awesome was I got some pre-plans. So whenever I finally got a load at a little after 8:16 a.m. Monday morning, I got a load picking up south of Dallas and Lancaster and going to north of Tulsa, Ochelata. It's some pet food place south of Dallas going to a Walmart distribution center. So I immediately thought heavy load dog food. It was heavy, 43,000 pounds. I don't know if it's dog food though. But within a couple of minutes after that, they got me a pre-plan for my next load, which was picking up south of Tulsa in Jinx and Kimberly-Clark, a paper load going to another Walmart distribution center in Florida, Davenport, Florida. It's 1,200 total miles, like 47 empty, 1163 loaded. So getting loads over 1,000 miles at USA Truck is rare. I've only had 2 or 3 loads over 1,000 miles at USA Truck, which sucks because when you're paid per mile, the most efficient use of your time is really long runs because you don't get paid for loading and unloading, and that burns a lot of your time. So these short runs, I would say about 400 miles is the average run at USA Truck, and you're doing loading and unloading every day, twice a day, sometimes less, sometimes more, but it eats up a lot of your time in your day and in your clock, and decreases the amount of money you can make, and it's a lot of work that you're doing that's not paid, because I'm only paid whenever I'm driving this truck down the road, not paid for anything else, which should be against the law. For some reason, the trucking industry doesn't have to abide by labor laws like every other industry. So my loads have been good this week. Everything's been pretty good this week. I did screw up. I left my fuel cap off at a fuel stop and it didn't have the chain on it, so it fell off. I had to go find another fuel cap. I drove to 2 different shops and they told me to go to a dealership, so I went to a dealership. So I had to go to 3 different places to get a fuel cap, and I paid for it out of pocket. I was not going to submit for reimbursement because I thought it was only be like 20, 30 bucks, maybe 40, and I was like, well, it's my screw up, so I'm going to pay for it. But the damn thing was $100. That's a lot of money. So I told my DM what happened. I told him I was initially going to pay for it, but it was really expensive. I said, can I get reimbursed? And he said, yep. No discussion, no argument, no debate. Just said yes. Told me to submit the receipt with my next load. That's easy. With my last driver manager, it was a debate on everything. I had to escalate to the operations manager to get reimbursements. And those were like real reimbursements that had nothing to do with me. No headlight going out and stuff like that. Anyway, so yeah, the week's been good so far. What are some big highlights? I can't think of any. Really, it's just I've been doing some really weird hours of service stuff so I can make delivery windows and pickup windows. It's been all drop and hook. So I did a drop and hook at the pet food place. I did a drop and hook at the Walmart DC, and then I did a drop and hook at Kimberly-Clark. 3 drop and hooks within a 24-hour period. And I didn't have to put a single trailer into the shop. Every one of those trailers passed my inspection. That was really awesome. That is so rare at USA Truck. Like, I am so happy about that. I was terrified with how many drop-in hooks I was going to be doing. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to spend so much time in the shop. But no, every one of these trailers, like, this is the way it's supposed to be. You know, putting a trailer or a tractor into the shop shouldn't be something you do every day or every other day. That's not normal. So this is awesome. This is really awesome. So it's been an amazing week so far. I can't think of anything else to say about the week. So where am I at in all of this? What part am I at? So I delivered that load from Dallas to the Walmart DC north of Tulsa. I delivered that. I picked up the load out of Kimberly-Clark, south of Tulsa, and I'm on my way to Florida right now. I'm driving across Arkansas. I think I'm somewhere roughly in the area of 60 or 70 miles west of Little Rock. These four-wheelers are just rude. Like, how would these people feel if they were the one on the shoulder? There's somebody on the shoulder. I move over, and this dumbass tries to pass me on the right when I move over for this guy on the shoulder. How would this person feel if he was broke down on the shoulder and cars were flying by him at 70, 75 miles an hour a foot away from him? It's just, man, I don't understand people. They're just so inconsiderate. The selfishness of people is just mind-boggling. It's not everybody, though. Most people are good. It's just the bad ones really stick out. Is there anything else about my week? Not really. I mean, there's a whole bunch of little things that I can mention, but when I go into that much detail, it makes these videos like an hour long. Like, I could talk about whenever I did my pre-trip in Love's, I pulled over to the fuel island to wash my window, and it was chaos at the fuel island. I ended up having to back out of the fuel island because somebody was taking a 30 in front of me, and I had people that just were ignoring that I was backing up with my four-ways on. There were people on foot walking behind me as I was backing up, not paying attention to what they were doing. There were trucks pulling in behind me as I was backing up. Like, it was chaos. And they were like 3 trucks deep in the fuel island. It wasn't that bad whenever I pulled in there, but it got that bad real quick. I should have known, you know, at 7 o'clock. I started my day at 6:30. So 6:30, 7 o'clock, I should have known the fuel island was going to be crazy. What a moron. Somebody just passed me to take an exit. Just cut me off with their brakes on. I don't understand these. Man, so dangerous, so stupid, so inconsiderate, so selfish. Enough of that. Let's get some positivity in here. So, I can't think of anything else to say about my week, so we'll go to the owner-operator. First, I cannot express. Now, just a heads up, the rest of this video is going to be me rambling about being an owner-operator, moving over to owner-operator, my research into it, the process, the procedures, things that I'm thinking about, things that I need to do, things that I think I need to do, stuff like that. So it's probably going to be a long video, and the rest of it's just going to be me talking about the process that I'm about to go through in moving over to becoming an owner-operator. So let's start that now. I am really, 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 really excited. I've said it several times in my previous videos. This is something that I've been thinking about doing for roughly 2.5 years. I've been planning on doing it for about 1.5 years. I've actually been doing stuff to prepare for it for I would say since somewhere, it's been almost a year. I would say roughly August of 2019 is when I started like doing stuff to move over. I didn't make the final decision. Well, I didn't make the decision to do it until probably October of 2019. And all the way up until the minute that I quit my job, I was not 100%. Like, I could have backed out at any moment up until the point when I quit my job. And even when I quit my job, I probably could have went back to them and said, nah, I changed my mind. And they could have just undone my resignation. Even to this day, I could go get hired on if I wanted. Most likely. I don't know. With this whole Wuhan virus thing going on, like, whenever I quit, they were like, just a heads up that if you want to come back at any time, you are rehirable. And we will rehire you back anytime you want to come back. So, but with the Wuhan virus thing going on, maybe they might be under a hiring freeze. So I don't know if that's an option. I'm not saying that I'm planning on doing it or I want to do it. I'm just saying that it's I'm just saying that this whole thing is. My decision on this wasn't final until I quit my job around January 7th, I think was when I quit. It was like the first or second Friday in January. So, sorry, just a second. I've got a car passing me and I've got a car merging on in front of me. It's like they're working together to try to block me. Let me open up one of these grape Fantas right here. I had a grape Fanta that I pulled out and set up here when I started driving 2 hours ago. And I just now opened it. Still cold. I've got a couple of new flavors of Fanta that I bought when I restocked the truck this week. Haven't tried them out yet. Still drinking on my grape and my strawberry. Strawberry is my favorite so far, but I like to change it up with grape. And then I got these two new ones I want to try out. What I was trying to convey was, I can't convey how excited, like, there's so many emotions. I'm excited, I'm scared, I'm stressed. Like, I don't even know if that's all of the emotions that are going on, but there's so many emotions going on with moving over to becoming an owner-operator. It's a huge thing for me. And a lot of people that I've talked to, they're just like, they make it sound like it's not that big of a deal. Like, other people that are lease operators, I'm like, well, what's the process? They're like, all you do is you just sign some papers and that's it. You become a lease operator. And I think a lot of them got their trucks through the company that they leased with. So the process was probably more streamlined for them. I'm going to be dealing with a few different entities in getting my truck and getting leased. So mine might be a little more complicated. And then even talking with the USA Truck, they're just like, yeah, it's just, one thing that they keep mentioning is getting approval from everyone for me to lease on. Apparently there's some kind of review board or something to move over to lease where they review everything about you and determine whether or not they're going to let you lease. I can't imagine them not letting me lease, but they do have this camera in here and it is constantly recording. So who knows what they might see on this camera that they might say, well, we want another month out of you. And that would really piss me off. Because there's a lot of things that everybody does in this truck all the time. I consider myself to be a good driver, and I'm sure most other people think they're good drivers as well.
Drivers, if you're near exciting or looking to get those trucks and trailers.
She is always, and that's not a recording, because if you she'll respond to you. Exit 94 on I-40, there's a truck wash, and they advertise all the time on the radio. Every time I drive by there, they're advertising. So they just got some free advertisement for the one viewer on this video. Thanks for watching, by the way. Appreciate it. Have you ever heard of the thumbs up? I don't think I've ever gotten a thumbs up on a video. Do it. Give it a thumbs down. Do something. But yeah, I'm just really, really, really excited about it, the process. So let's talk about the process. What I think the process is. Okay, so before I can move over to lease, I have to quit the company. And Christina told me that I'm going to have to turn my truck in. So what I think is going to happen is I'm going to take the truck to my house, unload everything I can out of it. I'm going to go very minimalistic with like a shower bag and my duffel bag with a few items of clothing and my gloves and just some bare minimum. I'm going to take my tools out and everything. And I'm going to set all that crap right there in the garage. Easy access. I'm not going to, put it away in the house or anything. I'm just going to set it in the garage on the floor. Microwave, cooler, all that stuff. And I'm going to drive the truck to the nearest terminal, which is West Memphis, which is about 500 miles away. Drop the truck off, and then I'm going to have to probably take a rental car back to my house, or maybe to the place that I'm going to pick my new truck up at. I'm probably going to have to go to my house first to get the check from the bank and other things like that, because I don't think I'm going to finalize the purchase of the truck until after I'm officially on with the lease department. I don't know exactly how the process is going to work, but I'm probably going to have to take a rental car to my house, 500 miles. That's an all-day drive. It's probably going to be $100, $150 or something for the rental car, and then probably a total of $40 for 2 Ubers. So $200 to do that. And then once I get approved with lease and everything set up with lease, then I'll have to go pick up and buy my truck. So I have to get a rental car and drive to wherever it is I'm picking up the truck. One of the places I'm looking at going is about 1,000 miles away. So it could be a couple-day drive for me to go pick up the truck. Then I've got to take the truck to a terminal. And depending on where the terminal that I'm going to take it to, whichever terminal they tell me to take it to, if, like, let's say that I buy the truck in Fargo, North Dakota, and they tell me to take it to the West Memphis terminal to do the inspection and get the lettering put on it saying that I'm leased a USA truck and install the geotab and all that stuff. Let's say that that's the way we decide to do it. Something I was just thinking about is when I drive it, I'm going to have to be on paper logs because I'm not going to have an ELD installed. They're probably going to have me go to a terminal that's closer than West Memphis. I don't know. I don't know where all we only have like a few terminals with shops. We only have like 3 or 4 terminals with shops. I think we're down to 3 terminals with shops. West Memphis, Atlanta, Georgia, or somewhere in Georgia. And then there's one in Ohio. The Ohio one might not be too terribly far away. And Ohio is a freight hotspot. So let's say that that's what happens. Because both of the places I'm looking at picking up the truck are closer to the Ohio terminal than the West Memphis terminal. So I'll take the truck to the Ohio terminal, get it stickered, get the inspection done, get the geotab installed, and I'll get a load out of Ohio headed by my house and I'll swing by my house on the way and pick up all of my crap, and then start driving. Yeah, that sounds how it's going to be a lot of money. It's going to be, man, it could be upwards of $1,000 in just okay, think of it this way: a couple of $100s, like about $200 to get from West Memphis to my house with rental cars, and then rental cars getting to, let's say, Fargo, North Dakota is one of the places that's probably where I'm going to buy my truck. Fargo, North Dakota. I think that's about 1,000 miles. And the rental car and the Ubers on that one are probably going to be $300 to $400. Well, let's just say $400 because I'm going to probably stay the night in a hotel. So we're at $600 at this point. Then fuel cost to get the truck from Fargo, North Dakota to the nearest terminal is probably going to be, I don't know, $100, $200, somewhere in that area. And I'm not sure what else I might have to pay for out of pocket. So we're at like $700-800 at that point, just in travel expenses to get transitioned over to pick up a new truck. That's a lot of money. These are little details that I think a lot of people don't really account for. So luckily I have quite a bit of money. Well, quite a bit of money to me. It's all relative. You know, if I say I have $1,000 set aside, to some people that's nothing. To other people that's a lot of money. But I have a decent amount of money set aside for this transition. So $800 in travel expenses is not going to set me back on anything. But it's definitely not money I want to be tossing around, throwing away if I don't have to. Maybe the lease department will pay the rental car to get me to my house, or maybe they'll reimburse me. Maybe there's a sign-on bonus. Who knows what all is going on with lease. I think there might be a $1,500 sign-on bonus, and from my experience with USA Truck, they do not offer things. You have to go out of your way to like ask about stuff and kind of demand stuff to get things. Like I never got my tuition reimbursement, and I've been trying to get that from day one, and I'm never going to see a penny of tuition reimbursement from this company. There's a bunch of stuff that they screwed me out of, things that they offer that you have to fight to get, and I was just never able to get it, and I've been fighting to get it, and it's very frustrating. But man, I am so incredibly excited and stressed out about all of this stuff about moving over to my own truck. This Kenworth is janky crap. I don't like this Kenworth. It's just falling apart. It's so cheaply made, and the materials it's made with are not made to last. All of the plastic in this thing is just like breaking. It's become really fragile and frail, and like I had one of the plastic coverings that covers up some kind of something. It's an access panel on the passenger side, just fell off the truck. Whenever I did my PM, they screwed some holes in it and bolted it back on, but it just literally fell off the truck. None of the cabinet doors on this thing work. Like it's just, man, Kenworth is crap. And the my trainer's truck, this is a 2016 Kenworth T680. My trainer's truck was a 2019 Kenworth T680, and it had the same build quality issues. So they haven't made any improvements over the years. They're still making them cheap and crap. So stay away from Kenworth is my opinion. But I've driven a couple of Volvos in my days. I haven't driven one recently. I haven't driven a Volvo since 2006, but back in 2006, the Volvos were better than this Kenworth is right now. So I'm really, really looking forward to getting my own truck. And like I think I might have already talked about it, my expectation of the type of truck that I was going to get, my very first truck, I expected I was going to get like some fleet spec, low end, no optional feature Volvo. Like, it was going to have the horsepower and gear ratio and a Volvo engine paired with a Volvo transmission, and that was it. No APU, no factory inverter, no nothing. That was my expectation. And it looks like in my very first truck, I'm going to get something that I was not planning on getting until like my second truck. I'm going to be getting an APU, factory inverter, factory refrigerator, the workstation. I might even be getting a T780, the bigger sleeper version. I'm going to be getting a pretty nice truck for my very first truck. A lot better than what I expected I was going to get. So I'm really, really excited about that. I'm incredibly excited about that. I'm so happy right now. I mean, there's annoying things that happen all the time, frustrate me, make me mad or whatever, but in general, I'm just really excited and really happy. So that's about it for this video. Rambled on for like, like 26 minutes? Yeah, I'm really happy. Really looking forward to this transition. So thanks for watching, and my videos, whenever I move over to lease, there's not a whole lot of information on the lease program online. So whenever I move over to lease, I am going to try to do informative videos on the like the load board and stuff like that. So we'll see how things go when I move over there. But that's kind of like the whole reason I'm doing these videos, is because whenever I was doing research for the last couple of years about moving over to trucking, the best information I found was on videos like this, because the crap that they put on their recruiting sites and the things that recruiters tell you, you can't trust any of that information. Like USA Truck advertises that average length of haul, and the drop and hook percentage and average miles per week and all that stuff. None of that is really accurate from what I've seen. Just talking about the average miles per week, I think that their website says something like 2,700 miles a week if you're regional or something like that. I forget how they put it at, but it's a fairly high estimate of like 2,700 average miles per week. I don't think that's a very good estimate. It is very hard to get an average of 2,800 miles a week over here. Most of the drivers I've talked to are getting like 2,200 miles a week. So I don't know where in the hell they come up with these averages. I think they might be taking like their top 70% of drivers and averaging them or something like that. I don't know how they're coming up with the numbers, but it's really hard to trust any of the numbers. So I think that's the reason I did these videos, is because I found a lot better information in these videos. Now, there are people who exaggerate stuff. They try to make themselves out to be better than they are. Like, I could easily do that. On my videos, I could just talk about my big weeks where I run like 3,500, 3,400 miles a week, stuff like that. I think my biggest week so far has been 3,600 or 3,700 miles. I'm not sure if I ran all of those in a single week or if I had a rollover. But I've also had several bad weeks. I had a week where I had 377 paid miles. I had a week where I had 1,600 miles. That was just like last week. I've had several bad weeks. I should probably take all of my weeks and average them and see what I'm averaging. I might do that whenever I switch over to lease. Just do an average of all of my pay over time and all my miles and everything. How much did I make driving solo for? I'll probably do 2 months because it would be 3 months, but it's not going to be like a full 3 months. Maybe 2.5 months. But anyway, I think that's about it for the video. I'm going to start rambling about some nothingness here in a minute. So thanks for watching. Have a good one. Hope you're having a great week. And, you know, if you have big new changes in your life, then I hope they're working out well for you. Thanks and good luck.